Can you tell us, give us a bit more detail of what progress was made at this summit towards concluding the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership? What obstacles remain to concluding that agreement? And would you consider moving forward without all of the countries participating, if that's what it takes to get an agreement, as we just saw with the Trans-Pacific Partnership? And secondly, how concerned are you at the prospect of a trade war between the US and China? And can you spell out what the consequences of such a trade war would be for ASEAN?
Well, we discussed the RCEP. We discussed it today. I think everybody agrees that it is something urgent which we do want. The fact that we don't have a TPP, we have a CPTPP, has made it more urgent that we proceed with this as a sign that the countries in Asia Pacific are pressing forward with trade liberalization and are committed to trade liberalization. It's a position which we have been at for a while because we have been discussing it at repeated summits. In fact, at our previous meeting, which was in January with India, we discussed this together with India, which is also a member of the RCEP negotiations, and all the ASEAN countries stated their position, that this was something which was urgent, that we would like to have a substantive conclusion, and time mattered, and we very much hope that we would be able to do it this year, because otherwise events will supervene and there will be elections, and the matter will fizzle out some way. So I think the January summit was productive in having everybody express their views, and India, which is a very important participant and which has significant reservations on the idea of goods and services liberalization without correspondingly liberalizing movement of peoples as part of trade liberalization. I think they understood the message, and they will consider their position. We also discussed it when we met the Australians in March. We had a summit with Malcolm Turnbull, and we made the point that the best should not be the enemy of the good. You want a substantive agreement, but we want an agreement which is politically reachable, and it is important in this case to have the composition right, because the RCEP involves the footprint which is the footprint of what we desire to be the Asian pattern of regional interdependence and cooperation. It includes Southeast Asia, ASEAN, includes Northeast Asia, China, Korea, and Japan, includes Australia and New Zealand, and also includes India. And you can have other more smaller footprints, and if you have fewer participants, of course, it's easier to make agreements. But there was a reason we entered into this agreement with this shape, because we wanted to bring all the participants together and to have the trade agreement reflect the regional architecture of cooperation. So I would say that this is different from the CPTPP. I mean, I cannot say that if there's no RCEP, no smaller groupings will emerge. But as far as effort is concerned, we will work very hard to get an RCEP outcome with this present grouping of 16.